Hi there, and welcome to today's little session together. So today I want to take a moment just to think about fear. We all have fear in some parts of our lives that we are, has either tripped us up in the past or maybe we're worried about in the future. And I guess fear is an interesting one to think about, like what actually does make you fearful and why are you fearful? Quite often it's because you may be fear of failure, it might be fear of humiliation, it might be fear of punishment if you're a child or younger or older. And actually, what they kind of say when you read about fear is really you need to kind of lean into fear. Because think about, quite often, if you think about the worst that can happen, quite often people are fearful of maybe travelling on an aeroplane. What's the worst that can happen? Well, I guess the worst thing that can happen is it crashes. That's pretty bad, but chances are pretty slim. Maybe you're worried or fearful that your kid can't get a job, and that's pretty hard as well. But at the end of the day, what's the worst thing that can happen? They don't get a job for a few months, and then they find their path, and then they do get a job. Maybe you're fearful of going to a new class or trying something new because of you don't look silly or you feel like you won't be good enough. So all this stuff can sort of play into our thoughts. And really the best thing to do, I mean, also when you feel real fear, you could actually just kind of like freeze, or you could feel very uncomfortable, and that's not ideal either. So yeah, the best thing to do really is to kind of try and accept fear, understand what it is, what are you fearful about and why, and then kind of just try to understand it and then try to accept it. Accept it as maybe, okay, I have been fearful about that in the past, but maybe I'm going to learn not to be. So this will make you stronger, this will make you more of a kind of rounded human being. Understanding what you fear and what you don't fear is a really good thing to do. But one thing that can happen and can be really useful if you do feel fearful, it doesn't even have to be fear, is quite a big word, so maybe it's just anxious. Anxious maybe a sort of slightly softer version of fear. But no, you can always use your breath. So you can very simply just take a moment now even just to breathe in to the count of 4 through the nose, on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4. Pause for 4, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale for 1, on 2, on 3 and on 4. And you can just repeat this at your own time. So let's do it again together. Breathing in on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4. Pausing for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4. Exhaling for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. So just take a moment now just to notice, even just doing that twice. Maybe it's made you feel a little calmer, maybe it's helped your heart rate settle. So imagine if you were in a fearful situation, imagine you're about to do a bungee jump, or you're about to do something that takes you out of your comfort zone. It could be something really small, like you've never been to this place before and you're getting the train there. And over the festive period, sometimes we have things that take us out of our comfort zone. Maybe we're going to a different house, a different place, maybe we're having different people. And sometimes this can kind of create a little bit of anxiety. So just to kind of help you feel more grounded, help you feel more settled, and enjoy every moment a little bit more. Just use a simple breath. Breathing in for 4, pausing for 4, breathing out for 4. Remember, with breath work, you can always just let it go. If something doesn't feel right, just let it go. You can always change that to maybe 2. Breathe in for 2, hold for 2, breathe out for 2. So really it's about what works for you. You could also increase it to maybe 5 or maybe 6, depending on your experience with breath work and also what works for you. So in summary, if you are fearful, anxious or worried about something, maybe just think about what's the worst thing can happen. Usually it's not that bad. And then just embrace it. Understand why you're fearful of that. And can you then lean into that fear? Can you step into the fear? So it's not a fear anymore. It doesn't live with you for the rest of your life. Maybe you can say, yeah, 2 years ago I was fearful of, for me, a few years ago, I really didn't want to come on video. I really thought, oh my God, I can't do that. It's awful. But then I've realised part of my job to reach people and to help people, this is my world. I'm a yoga coach. I need to reach people. I need to be out there so people can come to me and I can help them one-to-one. I can run retreats. I can do all this kind of in-person stuff and online stuff and subscriptions and whatever else I do. But a few years ago I didn't want to go on screen. I'm sure some of you go, oh no, I couldn't do that. But I had to lean into my fear, and here I am. It's still not easy for me, to be absolutely honest. I'd rather not necessarily be doing this, but this is part of my job. So to reach the people, to serve my own need, which is to reach more people on this planet, to help them sleep, help them reduce stress, reduce tension, move better, have less aches and pains, all that kind of good stuff. I need to be seen. So this is why I'm here. So this is actually a good example to you guys and girls out there. You know, if I can do it, you can do it. So think about your fear, whatever it is. It might be something very small. Maybe you're a bit fearful of driving on a motorway. Just do it. You know, obviously if you've got your test and everything, but just do those little things. So don't let them hold you back, because really we're all meant to be on this planet to shine brightly. Everybody wants to see you shining brightly. So try not to let those fears hold you back. Go for it and make the rest of the year and into next year amazing. As always, any questions, let me know, and bye for now. Namaste.